is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I have my July wrap up. I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but it's my rules. My readings, my rules. And I'll get into it in a little bit why I'm cheating, because it is technically August 1st. But I didn't finish reading all the books that I'm about to share with you. Anyways, you guys, let's get into it. I read a total of 5 books this month. 2 of those were mangas. 1 was fantasy and 2 are romance, both hockey romances. So let's get into it. I read volumes 2 and 3 of Yona of the Dawn. I started reading Yona of the Dawn last year. Like, I only read the first volume and I was just like, I don't like this. I don't like how that was. I understand now. It's giving slow burn. There are some scenes between these 2 books where I'm just like, yummy. Like, nothing has happened, but if you know, you know. So you got like bodyguard romance type beat going on, Avatar The Last Airbender type beat going on. Sorry, I'm looking over here because Dawson is just doing what dogs do. He's just got the zoomies low-key. I'm just waiting for him to knock the tripod over. But yeah, bodyguard romance, slow burn, Avatar The Last Airbender. Those are the vibes. So sorry if the angle changed because, as I was saying before, Dawson was running around and I forget where I left off. So hopefully I can have a complete thought. I'm definitely planning on picking up the next couple of volumes. I don't know if I'm going to do that within this year. I have a lot of other stuff I want to read that's already on my physical TBR, so I don't know if I want to add to my physical TBR too much. Actually, I have no idea if these are on Kindle Unlimited. I'll probably read a few on there and then just get like the trophy book. And by far, this is one of my favorite covers. I don't know if it's just the colors or whatnot. And if you can hear my dog chewing in the background, I'm so sorry. Okay, the next book, I want to explain to you why I'm cheating on my July wrap up. Again, my rules. My rules. I say that if I finish a book before I publish my TBR for next month, it still counts as last month, right? Because we have a lot of crossover books. There are some books that I know I'm not going to be able to finish within like a 2 to 3 span between the end of July into August, right? Like, it's just not going to happen. I put those books on my August TBR. Those are to be finished. However, there is a book that I plan on finishing either tonight or tomorrow, and that is Mile High. And I already know, like, I'm pretty much 60% all the way through. I'm actually more than 60% according to Goodreads. I already know I want to rate it like a 4.75. It's just, I love the writing. It's easy to understand. It's easy to digest. It was almost too insta-lovey, but like at the same time, everything kind of like progressed at a fast pace. I really like the pacing of the book. I like the characters. There's not really a character that I hate per se. Yes, there are antagonists in this book and I do not mess with those people. Like, they're annoying. I don't like them. I like the subject matter that's talked about in this book. It's very relatable and it's just like heartfelt and touching almost. And it's like the male main character gives off like rough around the edges, but he's a real big softie inside. And the female main character is just a softie and rough around the, they're kind of one of the same, like cut from the same cloth type beat. That's what I'm trying to say. I just like the dynamics going on in this book. So it's definitely got a strong, I knew right off the bat after reading the first couple of chapters, I'm like, oh, this might be a 5-star read. There are some timeline discrepancies and that's making me like, this could have been thought out better. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. But other than that, I'm like enthralled. But anyways, yeah, I plan on finishing it tonight or tomorrow, and I will just insert a clip here about my experiences with the book. Okay, we're not going to mind my appearance, but I did just finish reading Mile High. I am really set on rating it 4.75 stars. It wasn't perfect, but it just itched something in my brain. Yeah, my final thoughts are it's really cute. I like how like everything kind of like dragged out to the very end, because I know like the 3rd act breakup, sometimes that gets resolved really quickly and you're just like, okay, but now we have all this extra stuff at the end. No, the 3rd act breakup dragged out all the way till the end. And I don't know what it is, but I like that, especially when I'm reading like a generalized romance, if that makes sense. Like a fluffy romance, no, I want no issues with a fluffy romance. You know what I mean? Like Icebreaker, that 3rd act situation, I was just like, No. But anyways, that's my little spiel. All right, the next book I have is Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is book 3 in the Chestnut Spring series, and it's probably my least favorite so far. Like, I don't know. I wasn't enthralled. Like, it's Elsie Silver's writing. It's very easy to read. I like the pacing. There's just more down moments. Jesus, Dawson, you want to keep moving around? He's like, huh? Anyways, I like the runaway bride trope in this, and it was best friends to lovers. Other than that, like, what they did for a living, like the hockey, and she's a ballerina, like what they did for a living, like they didn't really touch too much on what they did, and I think there needs to be a little bit more of a balance between what they do for work. It's so much easier with the other books, I think, in this series, because they all work on the farm pretty much, right? Or within the farm realm, so it kind of fits. I think this was her shot at writing about hockey and doing a hockey romance, and it kind of fell flat for me, I'm not gonna lie, but I still enjoyed reading the book, and that's what matters, right? It's like the enjoyment at the end of the day. But the fact that it was a hockey romance and we have it broadcasted as a hockey romance, like, it kind of fell short on the hockey romance part. Whereas, like, if I'm comparing it to a hockey romance like Mile High or Icebreaker even, that's more hockey. Now, to play devil's advocate, it was really good in terms of it being a Chestnut Springs book, because most of this was taking place on farm-related stuff, which is, you know, or ranch-related stuff based on the whole series itself, right? So anyways, I digress. I think I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. That's being generous, I think, looking back on it, but I could be totally wrong. I didn't even rate Yona the Dawn, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't want to rate Yona the Dawn because there's just too many volumes to be rating each individual one. Lastly, I finished up Covet by Tracy Wolff. Now, I saw something on TikTok that like piqued my interest. Apparently there's a lawsuit going on with this, and I was just like, oh, do I stop reading the books? But then I saw another comment and they're like, we better buy all the books before they go, like, they can't sell them anymore. And I was just like, that's the kind of energy I like. I'm sorry. I digress. Back to the book. Covet. This is the 3rd book in the Crave series. This one, a lot happened in this one, but there's also a lot in this that didn't need to be in there. However, this, I'm pretty sure, just set up the rest of the books, and it's kind of like a trust the process type beat. I forget what I rated this, but I would give it a 3 out of 5. Whenever a book feels like it's just setting something up for the future, or it's just kind of like a filler kind of book to get to the grand scheme of things, I usually give it a 3 out of 5 because you just kind of have to trust the process. Now, there were a lot of points in here where I'm like, that wasn't needed. There was a lot of like dips in the tempo of this book. Now, I did listen to this on audiobook. I did read a lot of it as well. But typically when I'm like over a book, I start listening to it on audio because I'm just like, I can't bring myself to read a book this big if it's not gonna be like an all-day thing. Like, I sat and read the first book in one day. So I'm taking a break from reading the series. I do have the next book. I really do enjoy the characters. So this was written for 13, 14-year-old girls. The content in this does get a little more mature. These always leave off on a cliffhanger, and I'm just like, this one was the one where I was just like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm hoping the next book brings the vibe back, but there's a lot of stuff that was going on in this book where I'm just like, it's either repetitive from the previous book, it relates too much to like how the Twilight plot's set up. And the first book was literally like great value Twilight, I'm not gonna lie. There was a point in that first book where it did kind of shift into its own story. The second book was very much, it was its own story, but it still gave off like Twilight New Moon, like it's book 2. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Covet, and yeah, I don't have much else to say about Covet. Alrighty, you guys, I'm done yapping for today. If you like this video, please give it a big fat like. And if you watched to the end of the video, let's do a hockey related emoji. I'm pretty sure there is a hockey stick or a hockey stick and a puck type beat. Let's do that one. Please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. It would support me and help me out a lot. Alrighty, you guys, I will see you in the next one.